For being here today. Ms. Hurstfield, I'm going to start with you. You may have been here and you may have heard Mr. Plowgen telling us that our treaties allow us to tax income earned outside its borders. And he cited the example of CFCs. Do you think that this is accurate?
So our CFC regime, which is known as Subpart F, has been in place since 1962, and it's widely accepted that treaties allow for taxation of foreign earned income and by CFCs. Subpart F, and that's what GILTI does also. There's a big difference between Subpart F and GILTI and the taxing provisions of the UTPR, which allow for extraterritorial taxation in a way that violates existing treaty principles. And so there's, although the U.S. laws that are in place are consistent with treaties, the UTPR is much more questionable.
So it's that, in your opinion, that would lead to less stability in international tax administration and probably lead to disputes with our trading and taxing partners.
I think there are big open questions about whether the UTPR is consistent with existing tax treaties. Several European academics have recently written a long article explaining why they think it's not consistent with treaties, and so I don't know what happens when you have a lot of countries enacting a law that conflicts with their existing tax treaties.
And we should certainly be having communication with the Treasury Secretary and the administration, sharing work product, and this committee should be at the forefront of determining that. Moving on, Mr. Scheisser, if I heard you right, we're talking about refundable credits. If a company here in the U.S. has $300 million of taxable income, 400 million, a billion, whatever the number is, and then they decide that they are going to take advantage of the green energy tax credits, and they take advantage of 300 million of those, and they effectively drive their tax rate here in the U.S. down to zero. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if that happens, then a European country could say, well, you have an effective tax rate of zero, therefore we're going to tax an additional 15% to bring you up, right?
That is the risk I was identifying, yes.
So let's just think about this for 1 second. So the corporations that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle in this administration have railed against about paying their fair share, in this example would go from $300 million of taxable income to zero, and then we're going to take 15% of their of that, and then we're going to give it to somebody in France or Italy or Germany or wherever.
So the OECD has given a bit of guidance, giving comfort on this, but I can tell you as someone who's practiced tax law for 30 years, we've never heard the last word on anything. If they wanted to change the guidance tomorrow, there's a risk that those credits become ineffective because all of a sudden France is nullifying them with a tax.
Okay. So we're not collecting tax revenue here and we're giving tax revenue to a foreign country.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Michel, I've heard a witness say here that we are faced with what I believe is a false choice, which is either join in the discussions or be left on the sidelines. We are America. We're the world's #1 economy, the #1 place to innovate. We have the most productive workforce. We are in a unique shouldn't our voices being heard, shouldn't our policies dictate, and shouldn't we be putting America in a place of leading the world, not simply following behind it?
Thank you for the question. I do believe that America should be setting the tax policy that's right for us and is growing our economy and helping American workers here in the United States. And the way we do that is keeping our taxes low, setting policies that encourage innovation and investment. We have been at the table as part of the ongoing process, and you can see where it's gotten us. The U.S. fisc is about to lose hundreds of billions of dollars. Investment in the United States is projected to go down. And members up and down the dais here were just pleading with a representative from Treasury to make sure that companies can still access tax credits that you all put into place.
One more quick question for Ms. Gordon. Ms. Gordon, at the end of the day, American business counts. It counts because it provides jobs for American workers. Do you see this creating more jobs or taking away jobs from America?
As currently envisioned, it seems to reduce the number of jobs in the United States.
Thank you. I yield back.